Hello, dear Taurus. I am Jamie Dawn, your revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your July 2021 horoscope. And we are coming out of Mercury being retrograde in June. It's waking up from being in its shadow. It will finally be out of shadow around July 8th. So, yay, fantastic news. But as we kick off the month, and remember, this is for your sun, moon, rising sign in Taurus. As we kick off the month, we're going to have a Mars and Saturn opposition, and this will be in your 4th and 10th house. As a matter of fact, your 4th and 10th house are going to be extremely active during the month of July. And with this opposition, consider Mars, that's our planet that says, go, it's time to drive ourselves forward. Let's move, let's get some things done. And Saturn says, whoa, 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 hold on. There's a stop sign here. You got to stop. There's rules to play by. And we're going to make sure that they get enforced. Yeah. And so when you've got your 4th and 10th house active, that private life, you're going to be ready to get some things done in the home, maybe beautifying it, maybe you're moving, maybe you're wanting just to spend time at home and really get into the roots of maybe certain situations. Maybe there's something from the past that you're ready to roll up your sleeves and kind of dig into and just get it done. Whereas Saturn is saying, hang on, you've still got obligations, you've still got responsibilities going on in your vocation, in the things that people are expecting of you. There's this public life going on that you've committed to, and you've got to fulfill those obligations. And so there's going to be this push and pull between maybe even wanting to take some time off and also knowing that you still have bills to pay or you still have commitments to fulfill. And so that's going to highlight the beginning of that month. And we also have Mars in your 4th house squaring off Uranus, which is in your 1st house. And so you've had Uranus sitting here, obviously, for quite some time and will continue for the next couple of years. However, with this square going on, it creates this natural tension that can challenge you as well to be able to say, what about me? I want to have something for me. And yet my home, my children, my family members are requiring something else and they need to get it done. And so that can also create a little bit of that tension point that you'll feel. However, in all this tension and all this challenge, what can be provided, especially with Uranus sitting there, you get the sudden helper that comes in. You may suddenly come up with an idea that allows you to be able to get some of the tasks at home completed so that you can fulfill the commitments at work or the commitments that you've made to others. It also may be that you suddenly have this deluge, if you will, of resources that allow you to be able to take that time off and maybe put those commitments on hold. Or you have somebody else. This is the beautiful thing about delegation and empowerment. You get to empower others to do some of those things that you don't necessarily want to do. Some of you may hire a housekeeper, or maybe you hire an assistant, or maybe you end up getting your children to start doing some of those chores around the house that they were lazy in doing. Now we have the sun also squaring off with Chiron. It is in Cancer right now, which makes a beautiful sextile to your sun, moon, or rising sign. And the sun is in your 3rd house. So communication and connection and that travel bug is most likely really highlighted. It happens July 4th here with this square going on with Chiron. This could be a time where some of that travel and some of these really sweet conversations that you get to have with others come into a place of healing something inside of you that may have been hidden. Maybe you didn't even know it was there, but you've got this beautiful support that can show up with the sun sextiling your sun. And all of a sudden, people are feeling more kind, connected, and warm the way that you show up. And there can be this wonderful opportunity for you to also communicate some of the things you've learned through this healing process. Now, the other thing I would say is that we have a new moon in Cancer, again, sextiling your sun, moon, or rising sign. And now that Mercury is out of shadow, that all happens July 9th in your third house. So I would venture to say that that first week and a half of July will stir up some solution making, problem solving situations. That here comes this new moon, that suddenly you've got spaciousness, you've got something new that now you have some clarity about, some new ideas, and how you can continue to advance your career. You can continue to advance the way in which you are connecting with others or communicating your ideas and your truth. And this gives you a chance to build on something beautiful that maybe you've started over the last few weeks, or that you've had to put on hold because of Mercury being retrograde. Some of those decisions that you may have needed to make now can start getting made. And remember that Mercury has been retrograding in the sign of Gemini. So that happens to be in your second house. So there could be some income and possessions and values that you've been reevaluating, that now that you've done some of that more internal work, hopefully you're ready to communicate it, you're ready to get out, and you're ready to buy that new furniture. Maybe if you're looking at it from a relationship standpoint, that you're ready to communicate, what you're really thinking about, what I value when it comes to my relationships, and who are the people that I really want to connect with, who's really in alignment with me. And this new moon in Cancer could give you a chance to be able to nurture others through your words, through your ideas, and maybe you even travel short distances, or people in your neighborhood and local community gives you a chance to be able to share this awareness and also your warmth. And maybe you're cooking for people, because I know Taurus loves their food, that this is a chance for you to do that. And you'll find that people will naturally want to support you or align with you. It's interesting because my ear is ringing as I'm recording this. And usually when my right ear rings, it means that somebody from the other side is showing up. So I'm just going to put it ad hoc here for a second and take a little tangent for those of you who need to hear this. Some of you Tauruses have lost loved ones in the last year, and some of it due to COVID, some of it just due to other complications, life, that sort of thing. And if this resonates with you, I would imagine that this new moon in Cancer may invite an opportunity for you to do some sort of memorial ritual gathering with family, with honoring of somebody that you may have lost. And that some of you who are going through the grieving process may be looking for signs and symbols of, is this loved one okay? Are they still around? That sort of thing. I would sense that around this time you'll get those confirmations. So I sense that's why I feel my ear is ringing, is to give you that message. So I hope that that does give you some comfort, some relief, some perspective. We also have Mercury entering Cancer on July 11th, making a beautiful trine to Pisces, which is retrograde right now. This is also further activating your third and your 10th house. This could be a beautiful time with this new moon, then Mercury entering Cancer, where those of you who use words or communication in order to nurture others, counsel others, give others that feeling of belonging. Maybe this is a profession of yours. I think of therapists or coaches or those who are in the metaphysical world. If you're offering your gifts in that way, this can be a beautiful time for you to access some really powerful internal wisdom, higher wisdom, if you will, through meditation, through retreat, but also through your dream state, and then communicating it to others in a way that is comforting and beneficial, something you do very naturally. And I would also say that this gives you a chance. I'm sensing from July 11th until the end of the month, where if you're wanting to make that transition out of, say, student information gatherer and moving into teacher role, those of you who are wanting to do that, this is a great opportunity for you to put yourself out there and doing it in a way that is comforting for others That's what they're going to be drawn to. Now, we have a lot of Leo activation starting middle of the month into the end of the month, as Venus and Mars are both in Leo and they're in your fourth house, and they canoodle on July 13th. So these cosmic lovers are coming together. So when you're looking at it from a relationship standpoint, we'll say the lover standpoint, if you're single, this is a wonderful activation for you in that fourth house to be able to maybe have that home business, or you attract somebody because of your home. It could be in your neighborhood. If you're single, go to your local restaurant, your local gym, your local meetup group, whatever it might be. This is a beautiful time for you to attract someone into your life that sees your beauty, your uniqueness, the way that you shine. Leo loves to be adored, loves to be on stage, loves to have their own bling, if you will. And I would imagine that this could activate a time where we'll look at it from the fourth house perspective, that you want maybe yourself, your children, your home to shine. You want it to be the place that everyone converges on. Maybe you have your cookouts, that sort of thing, so you can meet somebody if you're single through throw a cookout at your home. Yeah. If you're bonded and you're in that committed relationship, this is a wonderful time where you and your partner get to bring out the best in each other. You get to celebrate what each other does really well, which only further strengthens that bond between the two of you. You get to see where each other is really loyal. Maybe you do a project together and it just feels good because it shines and it just has this sparkle to it. And I would venture to say that if you and your partner are looking at beautifying your home, or you're looking at maybe moving in together, those discussions may have already started happening. Maybe you haven't met the children yet if you've just started dating, but it's pretty serious. This could be a time where that happens. The sun moves into a beautiful trine aspect, harmonious and easy aspect with Neptune in that third house and 11th house on July 15th. That is going to activate some more communication and connection with, say, friends. Your social calendar starts to get really ramped up. So remember that when these dates are thrown out there, oftentimes it's not exact when it happens. It could be, but this is energy building up to it. So let's say you decide on July 13th, when Venus and Mars are canoodling, to have a cookout or have some sort of dinner party, and you meet this person, or you and your partner are showing off what you've renovated in your home or beautified it, or you're showing off your kids, whatever it might be there. Well, here comes the sun trining Neptune in that third and 11th house, and everyone wants to keep celebrating. And this is a great time to go on a trip, especially if you're going to the ocean or you're going to a lake, some body of water, because we're dealing with water here, the sun in Cancer, Neptune in Pisces. And so gathering your friends and your family that you love and adore and having that conversation, laughter, connection, it's a great time to go have a party. And if you aren't vacationing during that time, look at July 22nd when the sun moves into Leo and Venus moves into Virgo, that when you're on that vacation, or maybe you do a staycation because you want to work on home projects because your fourth and fifth house are activated, that maybe you have started dating somebody and you just are in that little relationship honeymoon bubble and everything happens. It's like, let's go to each other's home. Let's just spend time canoodling in bed, or let's just spend time, around the candles and having a romantic dinner and putting on some music and that sort of thing. And most likely, as Venus moves into Virgo, you'll be looking at ways that your light can shine and be of great service to others. And how can your home become a beacon of light and love that others can come and feel as though they can relax and they have joy and they have peace, and that there's something here that they can be served by. And your pleasure house, that fifth house with Venus there, can attract to you some really good ways in which you can put a routine in, that you may find that health regimens become great pleasure for you. You may decide that you're going to hire somebody to help you find more joy in life. Especially if for some reason you've had to deal with some of the mundane, heavier stuff, that now you get a chance to be able to go, what feels really good is if I have my list and I stick with it and I get my routine in here and I find a way to have fun in my routine. The other thing I would say is that we have a full moon in Aquarius on the 24th of July there, and then Mercury is going to make a beautiful trine to Neptune. So Mercury in Cancer, trining Neptune in Pisces, an Aquarius full moon, fourth and 10th house further activated. You may release a project that you've been working on to the public so that you can take some time to yourself. And you may also find that your social life, your calendar, does get a little bit quieter just for a moment so that you can regroup and that you can easily explore some of your quiet spaces. You can easily explore some of the ways that you want to escape. It's also a great time to go on vacation, and it gives you a chance to really honor the essence of who you are at the core, at where do you come from? What has helped to give you the roots that you have so that you can bear fruit? So that what's that legacy that you really want to leave behind, and that you can wrap some things up that allow you to be able to say, you know what, my gifts are here for all of humanity. My gifts are here so that my children and those who are dependent on me can have the fruits of my labor. So you may be wrapping up some things around the higher mind. You may be wrapping up some projects and things like that that are a little bit unusual with this Aquarian energy. It is possible, with it being a full moon, that some of you may be letting some friendships go that are no longer serving you. Maybe there's been a relationship issue that you've been dealing with that you're ready to put to bed. Well, with Mercury trining Neptune, gives you a wonderful opportunity to communicate in a very compassionate way. If you do have to let something go or someone go, that you can find healing and you can find opportunity to share in a compassionate exchange so that everybody feels nurtured through the process, even though it may not be an easy process. On July 28th, Mercury moves into Leo while Jupiter makes its retrograde back into Aquarius. So again, further emphasizing this fourth and 10th house. I would venture to say that what your greatest issue may be that you tackle, Taurus, is really about your sense of value and worth within where you belong. Who's your tribe? Who do you feel as though will celebrate and support you and your best efforts? Who brings out the best in you? And what meaningful work do you offer others that allows you to feel as though you matter, that allows you to feel truly that you belong in this great big world in your own unique way? Mars moves into Virgo on July 30th, again in your fifth house. So you're going to have Venus and Mars in that fifth house of Virgo, most likely finding ways in which you can be of greater service. You want to be seen by others that you can play and work just as hard as the best as anyone else, but you also do it in your way that can be of great benefit. The one disadvantage of Mars in Virgo is that it can activate more criticism and more of that negative self-talk, where you could say, I'm going to go and I'm going to have some fun, and others just, this isn't good enough. Like if you're planning a trip and it's like, okay, I planned this trip, to say, to go to the Bahamas or whatever, and you end up there and then suddenly it's like, the room's not right, and maybe it's not clean when I arrive, so I have to move rooms. And while that's always a good thing because you want a clean room, at the same time it can give you a much more critical eye. Now at the same time, Mars in Virgo, and we can talk more about this come August, but it does give you an opportunity to be able to use more discernment as well. So if for some reason you have been a little impulsive with Mars and Leo, with just having fun and pleasure and at home, and it's like, oh, let's just buy this for the house, whatever, the Mars in Virgo could activate a little bit of buyer's remorse. So please do hear me when I say this. In the month of July, watch that your expenses for your home, when you're throwing these great cookouts, parties, dinner parties, whatever, let's say you meet a new person that you're dating, that you don't go overboard on the expenses or on the spending, because Mars and Virgo will have you looking at, oops, maybe I spent too much on pleasure and I need to redo that, or I need to pull back, or I need to find other resources to pay for all this pleasure that I'm trying to have. Okay. I hope that this helps, Taurus. Please just know that I'm here to support and I love to hear what's happening for you. Find me at jamiedawn.com. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Have such a great month of July. Take care.